He's tiny, he has a killer attitude, and he's even delicious. But you better run as fast as you can, because the Buse is loose. We watched The Gingerdead Man. We watched it so you don't have to, so you know what that means.
Horror, so bad it's scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot, who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horrible horror, so bad it's scary. Enjoy the show, but not really.
Welcome, Moon Goons, to the next episode of Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. I am your host, Marshall Hampton. With me is my buddy, my co-host, my brother from another mother, Mr. Aaron Southworth.
Are you channeling like a black preacher from a suburb of Atlanta
Yeah.
right now?
I was doing like Xavier Woods impression.
You have got like this. So, do you feel it, ladies and gentlemen? Do you feel the horrible horror? Do you feel it? God bless. Do you hear it?
Woo, Lordy, Lordy.
All we need is like a chorus in the background, just God damn. Some gospel singing. Shit. I feel it running through me, Marshall.
All right.
All right.
Today, movie, we did The Gingerbread Man.
No. We did the
Gingerdead
Gingerdead Man.
Thank you. How foolish of me.
Trust me, it took me a while. It doesn't roll off the tongue very well. Gingerdead Man.
Gingerdead Man. Oh my goodness. But as always, we have some odds and ends to clean up before we even get to the movie. We are coming up on the closing of our Horrible Horror March Movie Madness. We're almost at end.
We had the Elite Eight.
We had the Elite Eight this past week. We have, I think, two ties to
Two more
ties, because it's getting tough. People it's getting the shitty of the shit here. So we the first tie is the Pumpkin Carver versus the Wickeds.
Ooh,
and that's a tough one because Wickeds is fucking awful, but Pumpkin Carver is really bad too. But they had more to work with. They had a bigger budget, and
they did.
There was better looking film than the Wickeds, but it's still bad.
Yeah, you can't judge just because the budget's low, it doesn't mean it's a bad movie.
Right.
The Wickeds, ugh, that's pretty bad.
I mean, it does have Ron Jeremy, but he's just phoning it in the whole time. He sits in a chair and just
He is probably the best actor out of the whole thing.
Oh, easily the best actor in that whole thing.
And he's phoning it in, sitting on a lazy boy, just.
It has the worst non-sex sex scene ever. That lasts 20 minutes of just.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
I think I lean towards the Wickeds. I mean, I know it's cheaper budget and lower, but that movie's just fucking awful.
I'm with you.
All right, well there we go. The Wickeds will move on to the final four, and it will take on Blood Valley Siege Revenge, which beat out Houses That October Built.
Wow, that beat out Houses That October Built, huh?
That was gonna be a tough one, but Blood Valley moves on.
Okay.
Alice in Merland beat out Bloody Mary 3D.
Wow.
Which I'm a little upset with over that. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm the only person that's playing who seems to actually like Alice in Merland. I didn't think it was as bad. I thought it was better than Bloody Mary. I really did. But the people have spoken. They chose Alice.
So be it.
The other one that was a tie was our holiday showdown between Thanksgiving and Christmas Sleigh. Now, again, I'm surprised this was a tie, because I can tell you right now, for breaking tie, my vote's for Christmas Sleigh.
As is mine.
Because Thanksgiving is awful, but it's awful in a fun way. You can laugh at it and just enjoy it for its sheer ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Christmas Sleigh is just shit. So that's an easy one to break that tie. Yeah.
Yep.
So our final four is set. We have the Wickeds taking on Blood Valley Siege Revenge, and then we have Alice in Murderland up against Christmas Sleigh. Which two will be in the finals? You guys decide. They'll be posted. You can vote on it many different ways. Keep an eye out for that. The other thing we will remind you is next week one more week away from
One week a day from us coming to you live.
Knew you were going to do that. Yes, so we are live at Sullivan's Bar in Belleville, Illinois at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, March 26th, where we will be taking on Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday.
Yeah. Oh.
So yeah, plan your calendars. If you are in the St. Louis area, come on out. It is a free show. Check it out. There'll be some drink specials. I think we got some worked out.
Oh, nice.
We're
Okay.
gonna have a drink special, like a specialty drink for the event.
Cool.
Meet us, drink with us, maybe be on the show.
Yeah, do some day drinking, have some fun, watch some bad movies. We'll talk to anybody. Yeah, it'll be a good time.
All right, with that stuff taken out, we are going to jump into the Gingerdead Man. Now, this movie is it is a full moon release, which is, and I'll come back to that. It's released November 8th of 2005. It's short. It's like 70 minutes long.
Yeah, it's a real quick
Actually,
watch.
it's like 62 minutes because like 8 minutes of it are the end credits.
Jesus,
So
yeah.
it's like barely an hour. You can find it in a lot of places. You can find it on Amazon, iTunes, Vudu, YouTube, Google Play, and Hulu.
Yeah.
The Hulu version is free, but that's a weird bonus, like, because it's part of an Elvira movie version. So you have like Elvira in the beginning, like in between. So I don't know how much of the movie is edited down for her special.
So I watched it also on Hulu, but I pay for Hulu. I get the non-commercial version of Hulu, and it's on there. So without the Elvira version.
See, I do too. I pay for
Okay.
Hulu, but when I started watching on Hulu, I had Elvira do the intro. I'm like, oh, okay, but then I was like, oh, it's probably gonna cut away. So
Not me, but Elvira. Wow, that's awesome.
yeah,
Everyone likes Elvira.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
So if you want the Elvira version, it's on Hulu. It's written by William Butler and Donna McMurray and directed by Charles Band. Now, Charles Band and Full Moon is the same company and director that brought us the exquisite Killer Eye Halloween Haunt movie we did back during our Halloween month.
Yeah.
And that movie was surprisingly awesomely fun.
Awesome, yeah.
So let's see if he can follow that up. This movie did spawn several sequels.
Yes, it did. I can't believe it.
Gingerdead Man 2, The Passion of the Crust, Gingerdead Man 3, Saturday Night Cleaver, and then a crossover of Gingerdead Man versus Evil Bong. So, the cast is only 4 people I wrote anything about.
That's a lot. That's almost the whole cast.
One guy, his name is Jimmy Dean, which is another
Sausage.
Just like Poultry Geist. Everybody was named
Yeah.
after a fast food restaurant. A lot of puns in this one. He plays Larry Cedar. He might be the most established actor besides the main character of the movie. He has 180 credits to his name and some big name things, like he did Constantine with
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, thank you. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, the 2010 remake of The Crazies, National Treasure, Book of Secrets, and the 2 ones I just wrote down for fun. He did Chud 2, Bud the Chud.
Nice.
And he did the voice of Loki in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the video game, which is we keep having these
we just keep finding like Marvel crossovers, or comic book crossovers with a lot of these guys.
And then Ryan Locke plays Amos Cadbury after Cadbury eggs.
Yeah.
The only thing about him is
maybe Famous Amos cookies too.
Oh yeah,
Amos.
you're right.
I might be
Cookies.
reaching there, but
That's a good. I didn't think about that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But Ryan Locke, in 1998, he was nominated for Male Model of the Year by the VH1 Fashion Awards, and he modeled for DKNY, Gucci, and Nautica. That's the only thing about this guy.
Interesting.
Robin Sidney plays Sarah Lee, another pun on that.
Oh yeah, that's.
She is a Charles Band and Full Moon queen. Her resume or her filmography is basically all these kind of movies. She did Evil Bong 2, King Bong, Evil Bong 3D, The Wrath of Bong, Evil Bong 420, and Evil Bong 5, which is in post-production right now, ready to come out.
Wow, there's an Evil Bong 5 coming out.
She did The Haunted Casino, Night of the Living Dead 3D, Reanimation, Gingerdead Man vs. Evil Bong, and Gingerdead Man 3, Saturday Night Cleaver, along with the first one, obviously.
Jesus.
And, of course, the cream of the crop of this cast is the man himself, Gary motherfucking Busey
Yes.
as the Gingerdead Man.
And this is Gary Busey post brain damage.
Yeah.
So
This is the Buse. The Buse is loose.
the Buse is loose.
He is loose in this show, in this movie.
And he is running wild.
All right, so that's taken care of. We're jumping into the movie. It opens, like, the first time I watched this, I was like, is this at the beginning, or did it jump right in? Because it starts right in the middle.
You cannonball right into this shit.
Like right in the middle of a robbery.
Yeah.
And you see
It's
Busey shoot some woman at a diner. It said Cadillac Jack.
Cadillac Jack's pink out exterior of a diner. And yeah, just like Marshall said, you hear a lady screaming, he's walking around the diner in a black suit with a t-shirt underneath, takes a dead-eye shot of her, bam, shoots her right in the head.
Yeah.
She falls on the counter dead.
Now, one thing to say about this is this movie is supposed to take place in Waco, Texas.
I was wondering about
And
that.
but I don't even think there are palm trees in Waco, Texas.
No, I don't think so.
So maybe Texas, I'm pretty sure there's no palm trees
It's
in
pretty
Waco.
much West Coast.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, Busey just
That would be a
shoots his-
great educational moment for us. You know?
Oh, I do have an educational
Ooh,
moment.
goody.
later in the
All
show.
right.
I was going
Man.
to keep it a surprise.
We
but
got to come up with a jingle for that.
we do. I do need to
Yeah.
come up with a jingle for that. All right, so there's basically this family cowering behind a booth.
Yeah, Busey's going through the cash drawer. He's what's he gonna get? Like $100 maybe?
Yeah,
He's going through the cash drawer, and there's a family hiding underneath the table.
Oh yeah, in the back corner of the restaurant, like behind the booth, and the father who decided to try to stop Busey, and I don't think he really thought this through because Busey has a gun and just shot some woman, and the father pulls out a very tiny pocket knife. Plus, he's like in his 60s or 70s.
So yeah, he's underneath the table. Busey just shot a bitch in the head.
Yeah.
All right, he's not fucking around. He wants that $100.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wanted Benjamins.
He wants $100. The dad is with his son and daughter underneath the table, and my thought process is you're gonna do everything you can to protect your family. You're gonna shield them. He goes, this isn't right. I'm gonna stop him. Pulls out, it's not a pocket knife, a fucking switchblade. He pulled out a fucking
thought it was
switchblade.
just like a pocket
He
knife
pushed a
type
button, it goes, it comes out. So this guy is a little fucked up already.
See, and Busey has a switchblade later,
He
but I thought the
does.
father just had a pocket
They
knife.
both have switchblades, so this is
Okay.
the best part. He's fucking old. He
He
looks
is.
like he's in late 60s, like
Yeah.
way too old to be
late 60s, early 70s.
way too old to be their dad.
Dad, yeah, looks like a
And-
grandfather.
Busey's got his back turned, going through the cash drawer. The guy goes, "This isn't right." Switchblade out, starts walking towards Busey, but instead of being stealthy or clever,
Yeah.
he goes, "I'm gonna kill you, you
Motherfucker."
fucking bastard."
Yeah,
That's exactly what he says.
yeah, he announces his intentions.
And he sounds like a fucking crazed killer, too. He sounds just as bad, if not worse, than Gary Busey. "I'm going to kill you, you fucking bastard." And comes charging at Busey. Busey just turns around. Boom.
Boom, shoots him.
Right in the chest.
Yep.
Old man takes a pretty good dive. He knocks a bunch of shit over on a table. Good little death.
So at this point, the son / brother, he stands up and he starts trying to reason with Busey, like, "Hey, all right, just take what you want, leave. Come on."
I'm unarmed.
And he keeps saying, he's like, "Will you put your gun down, please?
Yeah.
Please put your gun down.
yeah,
put your gun
put
down,
your-
please."
And Gary Busey's like, "Say it like you mean it.
Say it like you mean, kid.
Now you sound like a pussy. Say
Yeah.
it like you really mean it. Well, now you sound like my high school principal. Well, now it just sounds like you're trying to order me around." He's making this kid say it over and over
Yeah.
again. And Gary Busey's just loving it.
So Busey he ends up he puts the gun on the counter, but unbeknownst to the son, he pulls out another switchblade from his coat pocket. The son lunges for the gun, and Busey just basically pins him down to the counter,
Face plants him on the counter.
and then just stabs him a few quick times, killing him. So seeing the girl, the sister, the daughter, she's crying and cowering in the same hiding spot. He tells her to stand up.
And this is where Busey gets kind of weird because he kind of hears her, but he doesn't really see her. And he goes, "Kitty."
No, this is I smell something feminine.
You know, he said that before the guy got up. But,
Oh,
but
okay.
it was just kind of funny. He goes, "Kitty, kitty, 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 kitty." It was really strange. Busey's awesome.
So, he for the next 2 minutes or so, he like contemplates whether he should kill her or not. He goes back and forth.
Yeah, now this is something I want to mention before we move on, is that he is contemplating. So she stands up, he's got his gun pointed at him, and he's like, look at you. You know, my mother always told me I got to start what I finish. But
Finish what you start.
Yeah, finish what you start. But I'm not going to kill you. But I got to honor my mother. He's having this, like, dilemma.
Existential crisis or something.
Right, he's having a dilemma over whether or not he should kill this girl, and he doesn't. You think he'd be something like, "Ooh, you're hot," or because she's a good-looking girl. You know.
She's not. Yeah, they're not.
So but he's torn about just killing her, and then he just goes, "But I gotta honor my mother." Shoots the gun.
Yep.
She falls down, and he goes, "Ah!"
Yep.
He goes, "Ah!" The police start to come. And he goes, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, and he leaves.
And then cut.
Leaves and roll opening credits. That's it.
So what was that?
That's how this movie opens. That is bonkers. I mean, like you said, it is a cannonball right into this thing. Because, like I said, the first time I saw it, I thought, like, holy shit, did I miss the first part of this movie, the first 5 minutes or something? So
yeah. So before we move on, if you guys hear a little jingle, we are enjoying some whiskey and ginger ale.
Yes, we are. That is our drink of choice for today's episode. So after the credits are shown, the girl who Busey shot in the diner, she is shown working in the back of a bakery now.
So she's not dead.
No, apparently she's not dead. So I guess which is weird because he shoots her. Obviously, he shoots her, but she never ever mentions it in the rest of the movie. Like, oh yeah, he shot me.
Yeah, he tried to
or
kill me.
I nearly died.
Right,
is never mentioned ever again.
In that scene, like, it's shot really poorly. The scene where Gary Busey shoots her. Because he pulls the trigger, there's a boom, and she just basically kneels out of frame.
Yeah, she just drops straight down.
Just kind of kneels out of frame quickly. There's no blood splat, no nothing.
No.
It's just,
so, I mean, basically, I assume she gets shot in, like, the stomach.
That's the
only thing, because if it was shoulder,
assumption.
you would think it would have been too high. It
Sure.
had to be low. But anyway, so, yeah. She finds an empty bottle of Jack Daniels, and which she kind of shakes her head at, and then she looks at this picture on the wall of her dead brother and says, "Happy birthday, wherever you are. I hope they have strippers and a Lone Star," which I thought was really kind of an odd thing to say.
well, Lone Star beer.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I thought it was Lone Star, like the steakhouse. I don't know why, but that was the first thing about like strippers at a steakhouse.
Strippers and a steak. Well, that's the beer of Texas, is Lone Star beer. Have you had it?
No, I've never
Oh,
had
I
it.
should have brought that. I should have brought Lone Star beer.
Never had it.
Oh, well.
I thought she was talking about the steakhouse. So anyway, the camera pans over into two newspaper clippings that she has hanging on like a cork board.
Not only like hanging, but it's like decorated.
Yeah.
It's like an homage to Gary Busey.
Which is really weird. So
Yeah.
that this person killed her family.
And apparently shot her. Who knows?
But I mean, it's not like an homage, but it's like it's basically
It's
the,
almost like
the
a mini
clip-
shrine, but it's decorated. It's like decorated.
There is some like white
Yeah,
ring
there's-
around her or
there's-
something. Yeah,
She put effort into making this like something important.
yeah. And but the clippings report on the capture and execution of Millard Findelmeyer, who is Busey's character.
We're just calling him Busey.
Yeah, exactly. I just call him the Buse.
What was his name again?
Millard Findelmeyer.
Millard Findermeyer. They
Yeah.
never say his name really.
And the one article mentions that a girl's testimony helped send him to the chair. So basically, Sarah's testimony helped put this guy away. And now, I mentioned, now comes knowledge dropping time.
Education with horrible horror. Education coming at you live. No, well, we're not live. Damn it. Sorry.
We are going to, here's a little information on the Texas death penalty.
Ooh, that's good.
All right.
Because they are like the leading, aren't they?
Yeah.
Lay it on me, brother.
All right. So since the death penalty was reinstituted in the United States with this 1976 Gregg versus Georgia decision, Texas has executed more inmates than any other state, beginning in 1982 with the execution of Charles Brooks Jr. Since 1982, 535 people have been executed in the state of Texas.
God damn.
Since 1923, the Texas Department of Criminal Justice has been in charge of executions in the state. TDCJ houses death row prisoners after they are transported from their counties of conviction and administers the death penalty on a condemned person's court-scheduled date of execution. Male death row inmates are held at the Allen B. Polanski unit, while female death row inmates are held at Mountain View unit, while the executions themselves occur at Huntsville unit.
Okay.
Now here, is the execution moment that the movie gets wrong.
I was going to say you're going down a path of
Texas has used a variety of execution methods since 1924.
crushing by stone.
But until 1920, the state used hanging up until 1924. From 1924 to 1964, Texas used electrocution, the electric chair. And after that, lethal injection has been used since the Gregg ruling in 1976. So, that means that Millard was not executed. He wouldn't have been executed, fried, or in the chair. He would have been lethal injected.
Ooh.
That's where they get the mistake wrong.
I see.
And just a little fun bit, the most executions are for murder, but other crimes that Texas has put people to death for are rape, treason, desertion, cattle rustling, and piracy.
Ooh. Yeah,
So,
I guess off the coast of Texas, yeah.
No, I'm thinking, don't illegally download your music or you're getting the death penalty.
Just go to iTunes, guys. Just go to iTunes. Find us on iTunes.
Yeah.
We're free, though. We're free.
Nice segue. So there's your educational moment for this episode. So while the camera is focused on the clippings, we hear a Busey voiceover, and he says all the basic cliche things like, I'm going to get my revenge, you're finished, blah, blah, blah.
Why would he say this?
I don't know where it's coming from. And a knocking is heard coming from the back door. Sarah opens the door and finds a box labeled Grandma's Gingerbread Seasoning. And she sees a figure dressed in all black with a hooded cape turn the corner at the end of the alley and disappear from sight. And she tells herself, oh, that's just the delivery person. And I'm like, bitch! Have you ever seen a UPS or FedEx guy dressed like Jack the fucking Ripper? I mean, seriously. Let's just...
Well, I mean, there is a little confusion. She's like, whoa, why did they bring it back to her? And then the guy comes to the front. Then the other gentleman, one of our characters comes up with the other rest, like a big delivery. And she goes, oh, I guess they left it at the back.
But it's just still, like, you see, that's fucking retarded. So, yeah, her coworker, Brick, who comes in, he has 2 tickets to WrestlePalooza.
Yeah.
And says that
where they let amateurs compete.
The amateurs take on pros just willy-nilly. It's like the scene from a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Hey, come on in and compete,
Take on Bonesaw.
And we learned that Brick's wrestling name is the Butcher Baker.
God damn it.
So she tells him to open up the box and so she can try out the new seasoning. And did you notice, like, when he does open the box, he just, like, opens the box and just dumps the seasoning out into, like, the large tub? I'm like, shouldn't that stuff be, like, in some kind of, like, plastic bag or some kind of container in the box? It's like, who just takes a cardboard box, dumps some, like, oh, here's some oregano or here's some brown sugar into the box, tape it up and mail it off?
I like how you put oregano and brown sugar.
Yeah,
together.
I don't know. It was the first thing.
You do not cook at all, do you?
No, the thing is, when I do cook, I use a lot of oregano, but I don't bake.
And brown sugar.
No, I do. That's why I was like, I use oregano when I cook, but brown sugar's for baking. So yeah, my circuits got crossed there.
Yeah, okay.
So Bricks, he cuts his arm opening the other boxes somehow.
God damn it. Go on.
Okay, I thought you
no.
And the blood falls into the tub of seasoning, and Brick tells Sarah, "Oh, just leave, get out here early." So
this is the thing that pisses me off.
All right,
he cuts his arm, and he goes, "Ah!" And she goes, "Let me see it." Grabs his arm, pulls it directly over the tub that they're gonna start making their cookies.
Yeah,
in. She basically, you would start walking away. If I've worked in food service before. Anytime there's a cut, you walk away, and he puts his arm directly over their batch. And it's not like 1 or 2 drops. There's like 5 or 6 drops that go because it's slow motion shot. It's a slow motion shot of these blood drops coming down. And they go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Boom. There's like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of blood that's getting in there. And you'd say, oh, shit, I just bled in the cookie batter.
Yeah.
We got to throw this out.
Yeah, because
Because
I don't
that's
know how
big...
they don't notice that. I don't know. That's a big health code violation, I would believe.
And you're worried about staying open in the first place.
Yeah.
Bitch, throw that shit out.
So in the front of the bakery, Sarah hears this other girl who works there shout, and she rushes off to see what all the commotion is about. And it turns out she's just excited about reading the newspaper article that on the execution of Busey. And she mentions it's been 2 years, and that he was executed. And after he was executed, his body was cremated and his ashes sent to his mother.
So, okay, so Busey got. This was 2 years ago that he shot these people.
Yeah.
That's a pretty fucking expedited death sentence.
Yeah, most of them are like 20 years or so on death row.
They sit on death row for a while.
Yeah.
That's something we probably should have looked up too, you know. But anyway, now he's dead.
Yeah.
2 years later.
2 years later.
Okay.
But let's just think about this. If he was executed, let's say, and most of the paper reports and stuff happens the day before. So let's say he was executed the day before. But all of a sudden, he's already been cremated, and the mother, the ashes, how does that
spoiler
happen?
alert, guess what? Mom received the ashes. That's who fucking dropped off the gingerbread dust. It's his goddamn ashes.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's probably mixed with sugar and spice.
What fucking mortuary, that quick of a turnaround to cremate? Oh, here's your ashes. And for her to turn around the same day or that night to put them in season and drop them off.
If they can do it that fast, burning a body, getting the ashes, sending it to mom, and mom maybe mix it up. Why can't I get my fucking DVDs delivered that quick from Amazon? What's going on? I need to go through the Texas Department of Justice, apparently, to get my shit delivered to me, because apparently
super fast.
They don't fuck around.
No. So anyway, Brick adds a scoop of the tainted seasoning to the dough in the mixer, the big giant mixer. And we cut to a drunken older woman standing on the sidewalk in front of Betty's Bakery. And she has
nighttime.
It's nighttime now. So who knows? Because it was daytime when the box was dropped off.
Man, it went from day to night
immediately. So she got a bottle of Jack in one hand and a shotgun in the other.
Well, this is Texas.
Yeah, it is Texas. And she's shooting the shotgun at the banner of the competing bakery across the street. And somehow she's able to perfectly shoot whatever's holding the banner up. But nothing else is damaged by the buckshot.
She's a fucking deadeye is what she is,
But
Marshall.
it's a shotgun.
She's drunk.
Yeah.
And she's shit-faced with a shotgun. She's like a goddamn surgeon with that shotgun.
But even a shotgun itself, it's buckshot. There's no way it should be that pinpoint.
It was
from across the street.
It was ridiculous. And she's
insane.
like shooting down, and just like he said, just shooting down just the banner. Next to the windows and stuff, no windows broken.
No cars get damaged.
Nothing. And the banner just lightly falls.
It's like somebody just held the string, the banner, just dropped the string, goes, whoop,
just
drops.
One side of it just dropped.
Right, yeah.
And she's like, yeah, woohoo!
Texas! Go Longhorns!
She's pumped.
So Sarah and the other girl, who we eventually learn her name is Julia, rush up to the older woman. And this turns out to be Betty Lee, Sarah's grandmother. Or at least I thought she looks like a grandmother. It turns out it's Sarah's mother.
Yeah.
But she looks like it should be Sarah's grandmother.
Well, that honestly, that kind of fits with the grandpa or the father who I thought was a grandpa. The father was also wearing an old man like Mr. Rogers sweater.
He was wearing he definitely was.
He just looks like he's fucking
He dressed
old.
like a grandpa.
Jesus.
Yeah. And so they come in from the sides of Betty, which is really weird because
from each side.
Because we just saw them inside the bakery, which is directly behind her.
So that they didn't come out the front door.
No, they went around the back, down the alleys, come around the block, and then meet her at the side.
On each side.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? That makes no sense. So, not happy about her booze being taken away, Betty threatens to fire Julia for taking the bottle of Jack away. But Julia ends up taking Betty home to sleep it off.
Hey, man, I've been cut off before. It's not a pretty sight. I don't know. Have you ever been cut off at a bar?
No.
I've been cut off at a bar. It's not.
I've never been cut off at a bar.
It's not pretty.
I've been cut off in fraternity parties when I was in college.
There's a reason you get cut off. And yeah, it's never pretty. So.
So back in the bakery, Brick turns off the mixer and he leaves. Now, in the mixer, the dough has all these red streaks in it because it's of the blood.
The blood that he's been dripping all over the place.
He looks at it, and nobody seems to notice the red streaks in here.
It's fucking disgusting.
It's like, what the fuck? It's blatantly obvious. Anyway, so the dough begins to move, and a tiny dough hand rises out of the dough while what sounds like voodoo or black magic
there's,
chants
like, weird,
are whispered.
It's like speaking in tongues, like
yeah, it's like, what is that? Where's that coming from?
Yeah, it's like fucking Elvish. They're speaking in the background, like
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes no like, and then the hand sinks back into the dough.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Yeah.
IKEA. So out front of the bakery now, Jimmy Dean pulls up in his sweet Camaro,
Yes.
wanting to know what happened to his banner. So he's the guy who owns the competing bakery across the street, in which they turn as like a chain bakery. So I guess like
statewide chain
yeah,
bakery.
like a Dunkin' Donuts or something like
and,
that.
you know, Texas is a big fucking state. So if you got a statewide competitor, that's big.
Yeah. And so he's like, hey, he wants to buy out Bet. He's like, let me buy you out. Because so his customers don't have to look at this rundown pie stand, is what he calls it.
Do you know what he offered? He only offered her $50,000.
Yeah, 50
That's
grand.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, are
It's
you
not
kidding
much.
me? That's how much. It's like the building's worth more than that alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Get fucked. You
Because
know.
it's like a 2-3 story building when you see it in a wide shot.
Yeah, I would.
Even though this building is again kind of like the well, God, what's the phone booth from Doctor Who?
The TARDIS.
The TARDIS, because like the outside, I mean, it's not a small building, but it's just a mom and pop bakery with like what would be like a living apartment above it. But when you see it, the front of the shop is kind of tiny. Like you walk in, there's the glass cases, cash register. But when you go in the back,
It's like a fucking warehouse.
yeah, it becomes a huge ass fucking warehouse for what's supposed to be a tiny little bakery. So, Jimmy's daughter Lorna is in the car, and she teases Sarah a bit, and we learn that Lorna was just named Miss Prettyface of Waco. I'm Miss Prettyface, y'all.
Miss Pretty Face.
Miss Prettyface.
Miss Pretty Face of Waco.
Yeah.
And again, she's not that pretty.
She's cute, but I mean, she's not like
she's just a person.
she's small. It should be small town hot. If you think about it, if it's a small town, but I don't know how Waco. I don't think is that small.
Well, I don't know if it's that
I mean,
big.
it's not Dallas or Houston, but I mean, I don't think it's like a.
I think it's just very famous.
Yeah, it's famous for the
What was
the cult guy.
David Koresh.
Yeah, and the standoff.
Grand Meridians. What were they called?
I don't know, but yeah,
remember,
the big shootout and all. Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Janet Reno fucked up. That's all I know. Okay.
So we cut to Sarah, and she's talking to Brick in the shop about selling and how hard it has been to keep the place running since her brother and father were killed. And she tries to be all emotional and crying here, but it's just really bad. She drops the ball in this scene.
There's no emotional.
No,
content
she's like
here.
trying to cry, but it's just not happening. Again, Sarah tells Brick to leave early, which at this point I guess he finally does.
Because he's going to
WrestlePalooza
2.
And so Sarah heads back to the back and gets the dough out of the mixer, flattens it out on like one of the metal flat tables, and she uses this giant man-shaped cookie cutter to cut out one gingerbread man.
This gingerbread man's fucking huge.
And maybe this is why the shop wouldn't be in such a bad financial place if they make better use of their supplies. Because she flattened out this huge amount of dough. Like, it takes up almost like a good section of table, and she makes one gingerbread cookie from it.
That we see.
One.
And she can always
because
add...
when she puts it in the oven, it's one guy on the tray.
That is pretty bad use.
So that's so much wasted dough. It's like throwing your money away. It's like flush it down the toilet.
So that is a ton of dough. When I was looking at her making it, it's funny because I worked at St. Louis Bread Company for the rest of the
I was gonna say,
country.
because when I worked at a Pizza World, we had the same dough mixer.
For the rest of the country, it's Panera Bread.
Yeah.
But yeah, you roll the shit out, you cut out what you need, you slap it back together, roll it out, cut out what you need, slap it back together, roll it out.
Yeah.
You do it, until it's all gone.
The amount of dough pizzas or balls we could make from one of those dough things was like
ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't even count how many dough balls we could get out there.
And she had a shit ton of dough.
Yeah, and she makes one cookie. So that's why you're failing, Sarah. Anyway, so Sarah takes a tray with one gingerbread man on
Not
it.
to mention your dad's dead and your mom's a drunk.
Into a large walk-in oven. And I've got to say, this is a waste of energy and money, because that's all she puts in this giant oven is one tray with one gingerbread cookie.
It's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Walk-in oven.
I've never seen a walk-in coolers, walk-in freezers all the time. I've never seen a walk-in oven.
I don't know if they exist.
I don't know either.
Know.
I've never seen
but
one.
It just seems
excessive.
Massive.
Again, your energy bills have got to be through the roof.
Are you making maybe for a mass industrial
like Keebler, the
Right.
Keebler warehouse, or Chips Ahoy, maybe.
Yeah,
but a mom and pop, like, this is insane.
a walk-in up? I mean, it's like a small room.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
sauna. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
basically
Ooh, that'd be nice. Set at about 150
just walk in,
degrees.
get nice steam,
Woo!
get a little
Get a sweater,
spritz,
yeah.
get your spritz
Gets
on.
you gets his Svitz. Yeah,
Spitz, that's what
Svitz on. Yeah.
So anyway, she turns it on and the lights begin to flicker a little bit. And Sarah finds Lorna in the front of the store along with a rat. And Lorna tells her that the money her dad offered her is too good for her.
$50,000.
Yeah, and Sarah accuses Lorna of bringing the rat in so they would get shut down by the health department and not have to pay.
Well, you know what's going to shut them down from the health department? Bleeding in your product.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah.
You're already doing it to yourself, Sarah.
And the fact that your energy bills are skyrocketing because
Yeah.
you have a fucking missile.
Walk-in oven, yeah.
So, not having any of that shit, Sarah charges at Lorna and smashes a pie in her face.
Ooh, pie to the face.
And this leads to a really shitty, air quotes, fight
Yeah.
between the two girls.
And this goes on for a minute.
And they end up in the back by the walk-in oven.
Pushing, pulling hair.
They're throwing
Like,
baked goods at each other.
this isn't even a good girl fight.
No.
It's not. I mean, and I don't like using that term "girl fight" because I think girls can fucking fight.
Oh,
you know,
Ronda Rousey,
yeah.
proved
I
that.
have a huge respect for that, but I mean, this is
We'll use
bad.
the cat fight.
Yeah,
Your
quote
cat
unquote.
fight,
yeah,
cat fight.
and it's awful.
It is. Yeah, they end up throwing like bear claws and like rolls at each other. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a scene where I think Sarah's getting pelted with like powder puffs.
Yeah.
and she's just like, ah.
Yeah,
she can't take it. She's just like getting beaten with powder puffs.
Yeah. So during all this, shots of the gingerbread man are cooking in the oven are shown, and we hear more of the whispered like voodoo chants in the background.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I really want to know
Where
who
does
is
this come
supposed to be
from?
saying this.
Yeah,
Because it's not. I mean, it's Busey's voice, but he's at this point. Like, why is he even saying this? Like, is he a ghost? I don't know. I don't get.
Is this kind of like a Chucky thing? You know?
Even Chucky was alive when he would always chant. You know.
Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, it makes no sense. And even like in Shocker, the Pinkle was in the jail cell chanting black magic.
Right,
to
like
TV,
he was doing
but he was still alive.
Yeah.
This is just a disembodied voice coming from nowhere.
From dough.
Yeah. So, continuing their fight, the two girls bump into this giant circuit box, causing the power to shut off. But bolts of electricity are seen running down the walk-in oven, and the gingerbread man erupts in magical energy and fire and comes to life.
So this doesn't make any sense.
No, it makes no sense whatsoever.
They bump into it and it turns it off.
Yeah.
Turns off the electricity.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be any more electricity.
No, there shouldn't be.
So why did this spark the birth, essentially,
Exactly.
of the Gingerdead Man?
Yeah. Again, there's no logic to this at all.
No.
None. So, the power comes back on, and
Yeah, they just flipped the switch back on.
Amos Cadbury comes in. Now, he's wearing a shirt that reads "Pull My Finger," so he's
God,
classy.
Amos Cadbury is the worst.
He is. And he says he's been waiting on the car for Lana forever. He got tired of waiting, so he comes inside. And we see Lorna again, and suddenly she's magically clean.
Oh, yeah.
All the pie in her hair, all the bacon, she are just gone.
So both of them. They had this big cat fight. You know, Lana had the shit.
They're like flour all over each other.
She had pie in the face, in her hair,
Yeah.
all over the place. Sarah was pelted with baked goods and had powder all over her. Cut whenever Amos comes in, and they're instantly fresh and clean, hair done up again.
Yep, so fresh and so clean, clean.
And another thing about Amos Cadbury, he dresses like a retard. His outfit is the worst.
It is.
He's wearing a sleeveless shirt that says "Pull My Finger."
Yeah. Jeans.
Yeah. No, he doesn't have jeans on.
I thought he had jeans on.
He's got the longest fucking like Jinko shorts you could ever imagine. They're fucking shorts, but they're
Are they
so
really?
they go past his knees, and then he has combat boots on because there's a strip of skin you can see, and I'm like, that is horrible.
I
His
completely
outfit,
missed that.
Oh
I thought
my
he was just
god,
jeans.
his outfit is so bad.
That is bad.
And then he has like a fake eyebrow ring.
Yeah, eyebrow. Yeah,
Like ring. It's like a
it's
ring
just
on
a
his
ring.
eyebrow, like a pierced eyebrow, but it's so fake.
This guy looks like he should have been in high school with us in like 1996.
Yeah, and
like
then-
the grungy Jinko guys.
And we'd make fun of him.
We would have made
Be
fun
like,
of
look
him.
at this asshole.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, I didn't realize. Okay, good,
Yeah.
good on you for pointing that
Oh god, because when I saw that, I was like,
out. So, Lorna screams when she sees the Gingerdead Man looking out from the oven window and laughing.
he just pops up.
He's like,
How does he?
Yeah.
How? Because the window's about, I don't know,
4 feet off the ground, and
or more.
and he's like 6 inches tall.
And it was a big fucking gingerbread man.
Yeah, but when you bake things, they shrink. Oh no, actually, dough expands, so he should be bigger.
I'm going to give him a foot.
Okay,
I'm going to be very generous.
that's very generous.
And say he's about a foot tall. He's 12 inches.
Right.
About the size of my dick.
Yeah.
No.
Ladies.
But- Why'd I go there?
I don't know.
I don't know. It was fun. Anyway, I'm getting kind of drunk. Yeah. So I'm giving him about 12 inches. That's
All
what
right,
I'm giving him.
all right. But yeah, it when it was 4 feet in there, so he's like levitating or something. And so Sarah opens the oven door and smoke just billows out into the bakery. And in the smoke cloud, the Gingerdead Man runs out of the oven. Sarah pulls out the tray he was on, and all they can see is this black burn mark. And Amos says, well, whatever it was, I think you overcooked it. And that's when Gingerdead Man pops up, making his grand appearance, and
Everyone sees him.
spouts off the one, I think I came out just fine. That's his big opening line.
Mm-hmm.
Amos asks, what the hell is that? Which Gingy, I just call him Gingy from here on out,
Sure.
replies, I'm sure as hell ain't the Pillsbury Doughboy, then hops down and runs off.
Pillsbury fucking doughboy.
Oh, okay. All right. So Sarah's like, hey, I think I've heard that voice before. Where have I heard that? And Amos and I was thinking this is all gag that Brick has done. Like some kind of practical joke that Brick is
The guy
laid.
who's not there.
Yeah, the guy who's left. And then Lorna says it's black magic.
Yeah.
And how does she know this? Well, because she used a Ouija board once.
Yep.
That's her whole reasoning. But it's black magic because I used the Ouija board
There's
once.
your explanation. Leave it to the Texas Christians. Who
Yeah.
knows? Yeah.
So the girls want to get out and leave. Well, Amos says that it's real that they should stay and grab it and take it on Leno and Letterman because who knows how much dough they can get for a talking cookie.
Good God.
And he leads the girls back to the back of the shop again, where they hear the sounds of Gingy eating. He's like scarfing something down.
No, it's comical.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like Homer
comical.
Simpson eating donuts.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And they're coming from the walk-in cooler now. So they have a walk-in oven and a walk-in freezer.
Yeah. Why
And-
would you have a walk-in freezer at a bakery?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe
I
I guess maybe you're icing, but again, just a regular freezer I think would be
Right,
big enough.
right.
Again, their utility bills are making them go out of business. So where was I? So they go to they close the door thinking that they locked Gingy inside, and they go to call the police, but the phone is dead, of course.
Yeah, the phone. I don't know.
For no reason, it's just dead.
God damn it.
So Lorna uses her cell phone to call her dad for help, but her battery dies halfway through the call.
And why are they calling the police at this point?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are they going to tell him? It's like a lot like Leprechaun last week.
Yeah,
What are you going to tell me? A magical gingerbread man's come alive trying to kill us?
Yeah, but is he even trying to kill him yet?
No, he hasn't.
No,
he
he
just
just
came to life and basically
cussing him
ran
out.
Yeah,
He's
cussed
rude.
He's rude. Yeah, he says some rude comments.
He's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
That's about it.
So at this time, Betty has come back and she enters the shop through the back door. She grabs another bottle of Jack Daniels.
She likes to drink the whiskey.
Yeah, she does.
I would like to hang out with her. And, if you listened to the show before, you know I like my whiskey.
So she sees the rat and says, "I'm gonna get my gun."
She's gonna go get a
shoot gun
shotgun
and shoot a rat.
blow away a rat that was
in
apparently
the back of her own bakery.
purchased from a pet store. Obviously,
Again, if this happens all the time, how much equipment are they damaging by shooting shotguns in their bakery?
like this is the solution: catching a rat.
It's Texas. It's fucking Texas, man. Go Longhorns! So Betty hears Gingy laughing, and so she begins to start calling out and asking, like, "Who's there? Who did this?" referring to like the mess that's all over the bakery.
But which was caused by the cat fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just note here, nobody else hears her shouting. And this is supposed to be a small mom and pop bakery, not a giant warehouse. And in reality, the other three people are probably no more than like 30 to 50 feet away, just on the other side of a wall, basically.
And that's warehouse size.
Yeah.
And there's no way it can be that big.
No.
No way.
No way.
I've worked in a warehouse, too. I mean, I worked at Lazy Boy.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's a big fucking warehouse.
It was.
I could stand on one end of the warehouse, shout the way she did, and you'd hear it on the other side.
Yeah,
because
it would echo.
It's cavernous, and it echoes.
Yeah, but nobody hears her shouting. So Gingy pops up on a table with a knife behind his back. Betty approaches him, confused, and thinking that he might be a byproduct of her drinking.
So I've never drank so much that I hallucinate.
I have never done that either.
I've drank a lot. And I know you drink a lot.
Yeah.
So
I've never had hallucinations.
She's captivated by seeing the gingerbread man. Who's kind of dancing around. He's kind of like mocking her, kind of going,
yeah,
like dancing around. He's making no qualms whatsoever.
No, he's got a knife behind his back, and he's just like, "Hey, come here!"
And she is enthralled.
Yeah,
she is mesmerized, and she's reaching out to poke him in the stomach.
She reaches out to poke him like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yes,
and that's when Gingy whips out the knife and cuts her finger off.
And when he says,
"Is it coming?" Go ahead.
And the perfect line: "Have you ever tried ladyfingers?"
Yep.
Oh,
now. Did you notice this? Like, for some reason, they switch knives in this scene.
No.
Like, in between shots, like, the knife you see him holding behind his back is clearly just a regular straight blade knife.
Yeah.
And then after he cuts the finger off, the knife is all bloody. They switch knives. It's now a serrated blade.
It looks like a steak knife.
Yeah. They've switched knives for some stupid-ass reason.
Continuity, people.
Yeah, it's like, why would you even do that?
We need to make this Gingerdead Man movie perfect.
So, Betty's screaming out in pain and fear, and still yet nobody hears her at all. But they hear Betty fall into a large laundry bin, which this defies all logic and the laws of sound.
Falling into a laundry bin, which would go poof, poof.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
And Sarah's like, yeah, nobody hears her scream, but Sarah's like, hey, did you hear something? When she falls into like a bucket, basically a bin of sheets. So after hearing the sound of Betty falling into the laundry bin, they don't go back to check it out. They said, you know what? Amos is like, he's going outside for some reason, which at this point, I don't care or remember why he goes outside, but he does. And Gingy tells Betty who he is, and then he hides as Julia comes back to find Betty bleeding in the laundry bin. Gingy hits her over the head with a frying pan, knocking Julia out cold.
A frying pan.
Yeah, like your old cast iron frying pan.
Gingerbread man, dead man, whatever, Gingy is a generous 12 inches.
Yeah.
And has the ability to wield a frying pan.
Which, by the way, is like 4 times. I don't even know the math on that. Like, how much? I mean, a lot heavier than
a good cast iron.
Those things are heavy.
Yeah, they're like 20 pounds.
Yeah. This guy's got to weigh like 6 ounces. So, anyway, time passes, and it cuts to Amos outside getting in his car, and he pulls out this large fucking revolver and a handful of rounds, and then heads back to the bakery. This looks like Rick's Python from Walking Dead.
He pulls out a fucking Dirty Harry.
Yeah, it's like Rick's Python.
It's like a 45.
Yeah.
This is 45 Magnum, most powerful handgun in the world.
you feel lucky, punk. Yeah. So inside, Lorna and Sarah, they're chatting about Amos, whatever. And as soon as he re-enters the bakery, Gingy cuts the power again. Now, Sarah says, it might be the storm that knocked out the power. What storm? There is no storm. We just saw Amos outside, and it was calm and cool.
The whole time. I mean, we've been outside a lot.
Yeah.
Mom shooting shit down.
Yeah. There's no wind, no rain, no thunder.
The arrival of Jimmy Dean and,
no lightning.
Nothing.
No evidence. But suddenly there's a storm.
This is madness.
It is.
Just madness. And here's another thing. Before we move on, they were trying to call the cops for help.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just leave?
Yeah.
Nothing was stopping them.
That's one of my biggest issues with this movie is none of the doors are ever locked. They can easily just walk out.
There's a fucking deranged gingerbread man here. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And no one takes that into account.
No, they never leave. People, Amos and Jimmy Dean, people just come and go, but they never
willy-nilly.
Yeah. So the three of them decided to go back to apparently they have a backup generator, and they can go turn on this generator.
Why do you have a generator? A small mom and pop operation.
I know, why do you need a generator?
This isn't a compound.
Yeah, it's not the presidential bunker underneath.
Maybe this is what people just do in Waco.
Yeah,
maybe.
Maybe they're doomsday preppers or something.
Maybe. Jesus. Ever since David Koresh got taken down, they're just planning for people to come and take their goods.
So outside, Jimmy Dean pulls up again, and
he's talking to himself the whole time.
Well, because he's talking about, oh, Lorna, you better, what you call me out here for, and it better not be that Amos boy getting your hands on you. And
he says that tattooed up, no good.
Which I don't remember even seeing tattoos on him.
He doesn't have any tattoos.
I'm just saying, you never see him.
He's wearing a sleeveless shirt.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any tattoos.
Unless he's got like a sweet, sweet tramp stamp going on. With that outfit, who knows?
Maybe that's how Jimmy Dean knows.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how he knows. He's like, look at that. Oh boy, that's a sweet tramp stamp.
So, the three of them, the three main people are in the back, and they're supposed to be looking for the generator because the power's off. Yet they're standing directly under a light.
Yes.
From here on out, I'm going to clear this up right now. The power is supposed to be completely off, but from this point on, there's lights everywhere. Appliances are turned on and working. The oven works. So there's no reason for
the freezer works.
Yeah.
Everything
works. And there's lights everywhere. So Amos and Sarah, they're chit-chatting. They're having a heart-to-heart moment, which makes no fucking sense, by the way. This scene is
dog shit.
Yeah, it's awful. It's retarded. This is supposed to be like they're supposed to be scared. Like, oh my God, this crazy.
There's a fucking living cookie.
Yeah, a living cookie. And we gotta get the power back on. We need to hurry. But instead, they find time to have what's supposed to be like the sweet heart-to-heart moment underneath a bright fucking light that's not supposed to be working.
Do you remember when I was 6 years old, you tried to kiss me and I broke your nose?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about how he went to her 6th grade birthday party. He doesn't remember, and then he remembers because she says, I punched you in the nose and broke your nose.
Yeah, I don't know if that's this scene or later.
Whatever,
but
regardless, it doesn't matter.
Happens. It happens.
And he goes, oh yeah, maybe I get turned on by girls hitting me.
Yeah.
You're 6 years old, and Jesus. There's a couple scenes where they have heart-to-hearts. There's like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's all dog shit.
Yeah, they all are dog shit. I mean, they're trying to be like, oh, these two are meeting. They have like they're meet cute if it was a rom-com or something like that, but it has no place in this movie, and they're just awful actors.
We're not even going to talk about it.
No, we're going to move on. So, Jimmy gets out he of his sweet Camaro to look for Lorna, and he's outside.
Sweet Camaro.
And he first thinks she and Amos are messing with him. Like, what are you two doing? Why are you calling me out? She, again, thinks it's a prank or something. And suddenly his Camaro just starts up and the engine's revving. And we see Gingy behind the wheel working the pedals with a metal rolling pin.
I kind of like it.
Now, again, notice the floor mats on this because Gingy is supposed to be driving Jimmy's Camaro, but the floor mats and the dash clearly identify this car as a Ford Mustang.
Ooh, wow.
Yep.
Marshall, checking out the continuity errors. Well done.
So,
the car's revving. Gingy's revving. I mean, he's peeling rubber, but he's got it in park or neutral. He's revving and revving, and the wheels are spinning. And
oh yeah, he's kicking up serious smoke. He's
burning
that asphalt.
He is burning tread. To which Jimmy Dean is just going, no, don't do it. Don't run me over. Oh dang! He's just standing right in front of it.
Yeah.
Just take a couple steps to the right, maybe a couple steps to the left. But
do a
no,
little Texas shuffle, a little line dance.
He's got nothing. He's just standing in front going, don't do it.
Exactly.
More peeling out. Then finally he puts it in drive. And you don't even see it.
No,
really.
Gingy smashes the car into Jimmy, crushing between the side of the building and the car, killing him.
Pretty anticlimactic.
And still, nobody inside hears the car smash into the side of the bakery.
No.
That would be pretty fucking loud.
Yeah.
And nothing happens. So Amos and Sarah are trying to get the generator to work while Lorna is pacing around.
Holding a rolling pin.
Yeah, again, they're bathed in light. And so I'm like, why even bother getting the generator working? They clearly have power.
They even said it's not going to work.
It's not dark at all in this place.
They even said, does it have gasoline? Generator isn't working. Let's leave. The
Yeah.
generator never comes back on.
No, they don't need it. There's power everywhere. So Sarah tells Amos that she's going to have to sell the bakery, and they chit-chat some more, having another... and as soon as they exit the closet that this generator's basically in, Lorna starts bitching about not having any lights. Again, they're staying...
Underneath light.
They're casting shadows, for
Yeah.
Christ's sake. And after some more arguing, Amos notices the floor is covered with flour, and they're like footprints or like a trail of something leading...
It's the most small, minute trail of blood.
Is that what it is?
It's the tiniest, teeniest...
I thought it's flour. Okay, I guess it's all like footprints or something.
It was hard to see.
I didn't see
It was
anything.
such a thin, tiny... I mean, we're talking pencil-thin trail of blood.
So
leading to the walk-in freezer.
Yeah.
Which is on.
Which is on. So Lorna says, fuck that, I'm going outside to wait for my daddy. And Amos opens the door to the walk-in cooler freezer, and they find Julia, who has been covered in icing and frosting and decorated like a cake, complete with cherries for nipples.
She's covered in whipped cream, sprinkles, and cherries on her nips.
Yep. She's still alive, so they drag her out of the walk-in and cover her with a blanket. They don't even try to get the icing. They just pull out and throw a blanket on top of her.
And then they just go, yeah,
she's fine.
she'll be fine.
She'll be fine.
No worries.
No.
Let's not
like, hey, what happened to you? Let's wake her up. Or just, she's fine.
let's not put her in Amos's car and drive her to the hospital. I understand your phones are dead. Fine, that's fine. Amos has a car right outside.
Yeah.
Let's take her to the hospital. They just said, well, looks like she's got a bump on her noggin. I don't think she's got a concussion. It just must be shock.
Yeah, she's like,
which
she's
is going to
shocked.
wear off. What the fuck?
Yeah. So, outside, Lorna finds her dad dead on the hood of the car. She takes a ring off of his finger and says, I'll miss your daddy, and leaves.
This is fucked up. This is so fucked up. She comes outside, sees her dead dad pinned against the wall of the building. Daddy, are you alive? Daddy? Daddy? Oh, grabs his hand, which he moves his fingers, by the way.
I missed that. Does he really?
Yeah. So, holding his hand, Daddy, Daddy, and then sees a big fat ring on his pinky, his big, I guess, jeweled out bling bling pinky ring, and pulls it off and goes, Missy Daddy. This girl's a bitch.
So inside, Sarah is telling Amos that she thinks that Gingy is Millard back from the dead to get revenge.
And they come up
Which,
with that
of course, that makes perfect sense.
Sure.
And we're treated to more boring dialogue between Sarah and Amos. And they cut some more cutesy, wootsy crap and trying to be all touching. They end up kissing at the end of it. And we jump back to Lorna, who's in the front of the store. Gingy pops up with a knife and says, how about a facial? And then slices her twice across the face. She screams, run away.
I would have liked it better if he would have jizzed a little bit of, like, cream. On her or
Oh,
something.
that would
How
have been
about a facial?
icing. Oh, that would have been hilarious.
That would have been better.
Yeah, like some white icing or something.
Well,
like
he's
that.
supposed to be a killer. I don't
Yeah.
know. Not a rapist.
But I just like the makeup effects on this are super shitty. I mean, it looks like they didn't even try.
No.
There's no cuts on her face.
It's just red.
All they did was like smear some really bad fake blood on the
Yep.
left side of her face and call it a day.
Yep. And she is so worried about her face.
Yeah, she runs
Because she did get Miss Purdy Face.
Miss
Waco.
Pretty Face. So Lorna runs into the other two, screaming about her face, and Amos says, "Oh, it's not that bad." And then she goes, "Well, what do you know? You're ugly." Seeing Julie on the floor, Lorna decides to get the fuck out of Dodge, and she storms out again. Only this time she sets off a tripwire. And when I say tripwire, I mean more like a trip rope.
It is so big.
How she doesn't see this is beyond mind-boggling. It's huge.
It's a rope.
It
It's
is.
a big, thick rope.
It's not like fish wire, piano string, something very hard to see. It is a thick-ass rope. It's like a jump rope stretched across this thing.
thicker.
Thicker than jump. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
And
It's like 2 or 3 jump ropes put together.
yeah. And so once she trips it, a box falls from the ceiling nearly
Behind her.
It falls behind her.
It doesn't hit her in the head.
Yeah, so it's just poorly done because they didn't set the trap up right.
I was very confused because she walks through the trip rope.
This whole scene's confusing. The whole
A
sequence.
huge box comes falling down. I was like, oh, she's going to get hit with the box.
Yeah.
And nope, it drops behind her.
And she spins around to see the box sit. And
Yeah, she turns around and goes, oh, God, that box. Then turns back around.
Because she hears Gingy laughing.
Yeah.
So she turns back around to hear Gingy laughing. And the camera cuts to Sarah and Amos. Excuse me. And then right back to Lorna, who now has a giant knife sticking out of her forehead.
It's like a Bowie knife.
Yeah.
It's like
huge.
a Rambo knife.
And it's like all the way up to the hilt, like the handle of the
Why would you have this in a bakery?
And she falls down dead.
And she stands there for a good 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Looking around like, guys, do I have something on my head?
Is there something on my face, guys? Guys, seriously, guys, is there something on my head?
She stands forever. Finally falls over. To which Amos replies, oh shit, Gingerdead Man must have booby-trapped all the exits.
Yeah.
Ow! So
Oh, so Sarah starts shouting out to Gingy, saying, "It's me you're after. Come and get me." And now Amos starts blindly shooting at every noise he hears throughout the bakery.
to which Gingerdead Man is laughing at.
He starts, yeah, he's just like, he's taunting them and laughing at them from the shadows.
And he's just shooting randomly.
Yeah.
And then they finally do lock eyes with him. Because he starts talking and she's going, it's me you want, it's me. And he locks eyes with him and he starts going, yeah, I killed your dad, I killed your brother, blah, blah, blah.
Well,
They're locking eyes. And that's the point when you think Amos would go, oh, I see him. Bang.
Yeah.
But-
So while they look around, Amos says, "Look," or no, I'm sorry. Sarah finds her mother's finger sitting on a scale, and so this is where I was like, "This is where I find out." Oh, it's Betty is the mother, not the grandmother. But Amos says, "Look, the finger is set up to point at something." Are you fucking serious? How would he know that, or why would he even think? I mean, first of all, a severed finger would be pointing at something no matter what.
Any which way you point it,
It's pointing at something.
It's a finger.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
That's what fingers do. They point.
So they find Betty laying in the walk-in oven. It points to the oven. And there's no drama in this because they just open it up and drag it right out easily.
I was like, oh, she's dead. No,
Nope.
she's not dead. She's not. Okay, that's weird.
Yeah. So they just pull her out of the oven, no problem. Gingy shoves Sarah into the oven, shutting her inside, and then turns it on. He then hits Amos over the head with a mallet.
Yeah, with a.
It's like a fucking rubber ass mallet.
It's not that big. I mean, it's
a mallet.
It's like a wooden or rubber mallet.
Yeah, that's
but
what I
it's
said.
not that big. And
Well, hammers aren't that big either. But if you hit over the head with one, it's still gonna fucking hurt.
I guess,
But yeah, I see. I kind of see where you're going with that. And
it's not like a steel sledgehammer or like an iron sledge. It's not.
right.
I don't get it. If
Yeah.
I got hit in the head with a rubber mallet, I'd be like, God damn, that hurt. But I wouldn't go down.
Gingy taunts Sarah, saying, "Now you know what it's like to fry, bitch." Amos fires off some more shots at Gingy, but misses as he dashes off. But his bullets shoot open the oven door, which makes no sense
Yeah.
based on where the shots hit the door and the type of latch on this door.
So Sarah spills out of the walk-in oven.
Yeah. She crawls over to Amos and kisses him and thanks. Gingy pops up, and now he has the revolver.
Oh, God.
And he's about to shoot him when Brick comes flying in from fucking nowhere.
Looking like a superhero.
Yeah, I mean, he literally drops into the scene like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he's even wearing spandex because he's come dressed in his wrestling attire.
The Butcher
complete
Baker.
with goofy red goggles.
Yeah. God damn.
Like ski goggles.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like, he looks like a superhero.
Yeah.
More like a superhero, less of a pro wrestler.
Yeah. And Brick says he saw them through the windows as he was driving by.
How?
Yeah, what fucking windows?
They're in the back. It's the where.
We have seen this back of this bakery now. And most of the movie takes place back.
yeah.
There are no windows
None.
in this warehouse of a bakery at all. None. And so basically Brick tells him that he has this. Like, I'm going to take care of it. And then he cuts a promo on the Gingerdead Man. For you wrestling fans, you know what that means. He cuts a promo on the Gingerdead Man. And he says, now it's time to meet your maker. Prepare to face the Butcher Baker.
Well, as he
for
flexes.
Tonight, your ass is toast.
As he flexes.
As he flexes and puts his dukes up.
Yeah, and that's... Did we miss the part where Gingerdead Man is shooting his gun?
Yeah, no, this comes up right now.
Good.
So basically, Ginger replies with the appropriate response of, you've got to be shitting me, which is probably the best response to that. Yeah. And then he opens fire on the three of them. And this scene is fucking retarded.
So we see Butcher Baker actually dodging bullets.
Yeah. They're all dodging bullets, like fucking Matrix shit. They're dodging
he has
bullets.
It's a revolver, 6 shots.
Yeah.
There's already been at least 4 or 5 shots fired.
I clearly have this. Like, it's a 6-round revolver, which is never, ever reloaded. And Gingy fires off like 20 rounds at the three of them while they're like, they look like they're playing dodgeball. They're shucking and jive and dodge. Yeah. And he's like point blank.
And he's laughing. Ha ha ha. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. He's shooting so many shots. I just lost count. I'm like, I don't know.
But did you notice in the scene, like, if you look carefully, you can actually see a human finger pulling the trigger of the gun. They have just like his arm over the revolver, and then you can see a finger pulling the trigger. So suddenly Julia, who is now also completely cleaned up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She pops up.
Remember, covered from like neck down in cake icing.
Yeah. She pops up behind Gingy and hits him over the head with the frying pan.
Back in her cute little tank top.
Yep. Brick jumps on top of him, pinning Gingy to the ground. Gingy says, "Eat me, you punk bitch!" Which Brick replies, "The Butcher Baker is no one's bitch," and then bites the head off of Gingy and eats it.
And there's blood spurting out of Gingerdead Man. There's blood spurting out. He's screaming, ah! He's eating his face.
Yeah, he is.
Like, this is probably the most graphic scene in the whole movie.
It is the most, and it's a cookie, but it is the most graphic scene. Yeah,
it's just fucking weird.
So the camera shows the beheaded Gingerdead Man, and we hear Busey's voice say, "Save room for dessert, because I'm coming back for you." And again, where is this coming from? Because no one
hears it or acknowledges it or anything like that.
So, I mean,
is it for us, the audience?
Again, is he a ghost now? Like, does he? It just makes no sense whatsoever. So Brick then chugs a bottle of milk, which I call bullshit on, because that's humanly impossible.
Well, it's dribbling all over the side of his face.
But still, we've all seen like the milk challenge on the internet, YouTube commercials. He would vomit that right back up. You cannot drink that much milk.
Whatever. He's just chugging some milk. Ugh. I didn't think it was that big a deal. He's just chugging some milk.
Everyone else is checking in on Betty, and Brick suddenly starts having stomach pains. Like, well, no shit, you just chugged a bunch of fucking milk. So he goes off to wash the blood off his face in the sink.
Because he's got blood from the Gingerdead Man all over him.
Yeah.
Gross.
And he looks in the mirror, and he says to himself, "It's not over, girl, not by a long shot." So his voice has changed into Busey's voice. So now Busey has possessed Brick. And the rest of the people, they're helping Betty outside, but Sarah goes back inside.
Did you notice they went through the front door?
Yeah.
And did you notice there was no booby trap?
No booby trap.
No booby trap.
No, exactly.
All the exits are booby traps. Get fucked, Amos.
So Sarah goes back inside to get Brick. And in the back, Brick comes out of the shadows, but now his face has morphed into like what looks like a giant gingerbread demon thing.
Yeah, it's like kind of puffy eyes.
Yeah, it's demon-esque, but kind of cookie.
Like it's kind of neat. It's not a bad effect.
It's not
honestly.
bad.
It's not bad. It's not great, but it's. No. I appreciate the effort.
Yeah, it's probably the best effort of the movie. Like, he grabs Sarah, licks her face. And for some reason, his teeth and tongue are green now, which I don't understand.
Bluish green, like really, like he just ate a shit ton of that bluey green candy.
Or icing or something like that. And Sarah screams, but now for some reason, everyone outside hears her
outside the building.
But earlier,
it's in the warehouse.
Yeah,
they can all hear it.
Yeah,
fuck, we gotta go save her.
The laws of sound and logic in this movie do not exist.
None. So
Amos heads in to get her. He tosses Brick off Sarah right as he's about to bite into her. Brick punches Amos and then pulls out his gun, fires 3 more rounds into Brick's chest, which has 0 effect on him.
None whatsoever.
Sarah opens the oven door behind Brick. Busey taunts Sarah some more. Julia has now snuck back into the bakery for some reason. Sarah says she's not afraid of him anymore. She lets out a scream, and all 3 of them just rush Brick. They bull rush him, forcing him into the oven. They lock him in and turn it on.
And he's screaming, ah! So they bake him alive.
Yeah, Brick screams as he's being burnt to death. Fade to black. Now, we jump to some time in the future. We have no clue as to when this is supposed to be. Is it the next day, the next week, the next year? No fucking clue.
No clue. Daylight outside. Everyone's having a great old time outside the bakery.
A sidewalk bake sale like Girl Scout. I mean, it looks like a goddamn Girl Scout cookie thing.
Sidewalk bake sale. Sidewalk perfect,
bake sale.
Yeah.
And Amos is hugging and kissing on Sarah. Betty is there all sobered up and smiling, and she magically has all of her fingers again. 2 kids come up asking Sarah if she has any gingerbread cookies. And she says, not if you're lucky, we don't. And on that cue, these 2 nurses.
2 nurses!
Who are dressed as the stereotypical, like, Halloween costume nurses outfit, which no nurses wear that anymore.
No, I am a nurse. This does not exist anymore. They're wearing, like, the classic
like
whites.
World War II style
skirt,
yeah.
White, like, lapels, white button-up shirt with the little hat.
Yeah. It's like the
hat.
nurses in Halloween 2 wore these.
Right.
So they pull out this box and say that this older woman just dropped these cute little guys off. And one of the nurses opens up the box to reveal 5 gingerbread men. Go to black.
Their eyes open.
I think their eyes didn't open.
Their eyes open on them.
I didn't see that.
Their eyes open because they're just all of a sudden just boom. Their eyes open, start like looking around.
No, that did not happen.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I didn't see that.
You're gonna have to go back and watch it.
I might have to. I didn't see it.
Eyes open.
All right. Roll credits. Now, again, we're supposed to assume that Miller's mother dropped off these new gingerbread cookies, like she dropped off the seasoning. So, we're going to talk about this in odds and ends some more because I have some notes on this. But with that said, Gingerdead Man adds the movie. We're going to move into favorite kills.
There can be only one. Favorite kill.
So favorite kill, there's, again, kind of like Leprechaun, there is nothing really to choose from this week. I was incredibly disappointed with this fact.
Yeah.
I really was hoping this movie, I would be have a higher body count. I thought like Gary Busey's going around killing people would have been awesome. Like kill more people, but like 2 people die.
Well, Gary Busey did kill 3 people in the first 5 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet. We're on the right track.
Yeah.
He kills a waitress or someone screaming.
Just some patron that,
He kills the old man.
Kills the brother.
He kills the brother. That's 3 people in like less than 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. And then really nothing after that. So really, what's your favorite kill if you have to pick one?
I guess I'm going to have to pick the brother. I kind of like when Busey killed the brother because the way he set it up, he's just like, say it to me again. Say it like you mean it, you know. Please put the gun down, please. Well, now you sound like a little bitch. Put the gun down, please. Say it like you mean it. Put the gun down, please. You know, I like that whole dynamic. He puts the gun down. He's like, yeah, you want it? You want it? Face plants him. Bow, 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 bow. Stabs him a few times. That's probably my favorite kill.
All right. I hated all of them, really.
They're really not great.
Lorna at least like had a real kill with a knife to her head that actually looked, but
how did it happen?
But you
really don't know.
See it because they cut away so fast. So I'm not gonna. And Jimmy Dean's dumb. I'm probably gonna go with the father.
Yeah.
Just because I thought it was so. Like, I blame it's his own fault. He died.
Yeah. Big time.
You don't. If you're gonna try to kill somebody and you don't announce you're
and
coming
literally
to
say, "I'm gonna kill you, fucking
fucker.
bastard."
Yeah.
You know?
So and then Bruce like bang shoots like so the father just revealed how stupid that really was.
The deaths are really bad.
Yeah, they're awful.
There's only 5.
Yeah, they're really,
unless
really
you're
bad.
counting Gingerdead Man, who kind of dies twice.
Or Brick maybe who gets burnt alive.
Yeah,
but I mean, I don't know. It's
pretty poor.
Yeah, they're really poor. So that's that. Not much to go on this week. Moving on to favorite or odds and ends. I'm sorry, odds and ends.
Not only did they watch these films, they researched them too. Ugh, what is wrong with these guys?
Ratings. IMDb 3.5 out of 10. This one, wow. Rotten Tomatoes. This, I can't comprehend this. 60% on the Rotten Tomato meter,
Wow.
That's high for our movies.
That's really high.
For this movie.
And this was a shit movie.
It was, but only a 28% audience score.
Wow.
Yeah. I kind of figured it'd be the other one. I thought it'd have a low critic, but like, oh, it would be a cult film audience would like it.
Right.
That just, it's so ass backwards.
Yeah, it is.
And then Amazon, 2.9 out of 5. So even Amazon came in below its normal average. Plot keywords, I wrote down 3: puppet, creature, and gingerbread, because, I mean, just...
It's weird ones,
yeah. So that's that. Trivia. There are actually some pretty interesting trivia facts here that I'm going to go through. The production of this film actually dated back to 2001 when William Butler wrote a script for the film. Much of Butler's original script ended up rewritten, and the original design was changed. There was even an action figure based on the original design and a teaser trailer that was made during pre-production with a summer 2001 date attached as well, but that all fell through. Let's see. I already talked about how the Camaro was a Mustang. Gingerdead Man. We talked about the human finger. We talked about that. Okay, there's not much here. We already talked about death on the execution and Texas laws. Oh, okay. There's a short named The Baker's Dozen, which I think this was released on June 1st, 2005. It features the exact same cast playing the exact same roles that they do in Gingerdead Man. Now, I'm not sure if this is a prequel or like an origin story of Millard or something, or if it's just a shorter version of Gingerdead Man.
Okay.
But Gingerdead Man was then released 5 months later after the short Baker's Dozen, so it's kind of hard to tell what it really was.
Huh.
That's really odd. The exact same cast, exact same characters, just like 5 months later, just a shorter version of the movie. It's really weird.
It's really strange.
Yeah. Now, here's where we want to talk about the mother, because supposedly Millard's mother is a witch, but this is never touched on in the movie.
Never.
And she's the one who mixes Millard's ashes in with the gingerdead spice and sets everything in motion. So, if she's a witch, again, that kind of explains the voodoo or black magic chanting, but would it have been better served if maybe it was her voice instead of Busey's voice doing it? That would make more sense, like she's casting the spell. Because Busey's dead at that point. He hasn't been resurrected yet.
He's a box of fucking ashes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's not going to be chanting shit.
And they could have gone more into that background. Like, they don't mention it in the movie. So, I mean, this is like background information like you had to dig up. But so there's no way you would know she's a witch.
No clue.
It's just some woman drops off a box of seasoning and you're supposed to go, oh, she's a witch and the black magic. It makes no sense. There's no connection. And the last thing is, there's even a comic book series based on this movie titled The Gingerdead Man Baking Bad.
Baking Bad.
With the basis being, there's a new designer drug on the streets, and it's called confection. It's so powerful that it has to be baked into a culinary treat. When a gang of drug dealers take over the abandoned Betty's Bakery, so I guess they go out of business, all pastry hell breaks loose when they use a leftover box of baking ingredients containing some of the remaining ashes of Millard Findelmeyer, unwittingly unleashing the cookie of doom, the Gingerdead Man. Now, the comic book is brand new. It was just released, just started February 3rd, 2016.
Holy
so it's
shit.
Like brand fucking new.
Man, we are topical here.
Yeah, we are. We are on it.
Yeah.
So that does it for trivia. Sadly, there's no budget game this week. Yeah. With these movies, it's not always the easiest find, but I was hoping we would have one, but no budget game. But we do get to go into 5-star reviews.
Is this your guilty pleasure? 5-star reviews.
5-star reviews. First one from Mark Twain. So classy here.
Ooh,
We're going classy.
yeah.
Robin, Sydney, and Alexa Allman are pretty hot in this dorky movie. Oh, yeah. Gary Busey plays a crazy gingerbread man. What more could you ask for? It's a movie you'll only watch once or twice, but simply stupidly funny and worth it if you can buy it cheap. 5 stars.
All right. Well,
Nothing.
he's no Samuel Clemens.
Now, from Dylan the dude who reviews movies and spends a lot of money on DVDs or some. It's a really long. That's his name. That's his screen name on this. It's really fucking retarded.
Read his screen name. Hold on.
I didn't write all that. And it's Dylan the dude who reviews movies that you don't want to, and spends a lot of money on unwanted DVDs so he can do this or blah blah. Like, it's really fucking long
Jesus
and obnoxious.
Christ.
Um,
Dylan the dude.
And this is in all bold, by the way, with like no punctuation.
Great.
The second I bought this, I thought it would be great, but better. I know people think it is going to be stupid, but it really surprised me. A really good low budget movie, 5 stars, really spelled with a backwards E, 3, by the way, instead of an E.
Thanks, Dylan.
Well, I should say it backwards. That's just a 3
Yeah.
70. So yeah. Last two from FM Walex. I'm a huge B-movie fan and a fan of Charles Band and his Full Moon Pictures. Love the low-budget style they bring. This one is one of those that you have to go into knowing what you're getting into and accept it. Gary Busey is indeed the Gingerdead Man. Yes, a gingerbread cookie with a killer attitude. This is absolutely not a classic and absolutely pure low-budget greatness. I love it. Plus, the fact I like the film is set in Waco, Texas, which is like a little over an hour away from me. 5 stars.
All right.
And last one from Olivia Ivelli, I think it is. Sorry if I butcher your name if you even hear this. When I was walking through the aisles of Blockbuster one night, this little gem caught my eye. I don't think that anything this bad could ever be made. Gary Busey, come on. The whole thing was so far-fetched and pathetic. I love it. I don't think I ever laughed so hard. I do have to say that the fact that they made a second one, it hurts my soul. I would recommend seeing this movie at least once just to say that you saw the worst B-rated horror film of all time. It is quite a conversation starter. Oh, and for all of you out there who love this kind of crap, check out Evil Bong. It's another wonderfully delightful B-horror flick. 5 stars.
All right.
So that's going to wrap it up. Final thoughts, Aaron. So bad's good, so bad scary. What do you got?
Oh, man, kind of on the fence, honestly. There were certain aspects I like because it's the fucking Gingerdead Man. I mean, we know what we're getting into just from the title.
Exactly.
But I just think it could have been done better.
I agree.
I'm just going to say Gary Busey should have been in it more. And correct me if I'm wrong. Please do. Because I thought there were 2 voices to the Gingerdead Man. Sometimes, was it all Busey?
Mm-hmm.
Was it really?
Yeah, Busey did the voice.
Oh, man. 'Cause sometimes I couldn't tell if it was him or some other.
No, it was all Busey doing the voice.
All right. I'm going to say it's so bad, it's scary. Just because I know it's going to be a shit B movie for fun, but it just still didn't quite make it.
Now, I agree with you on a lot of points. I expected more. Like, I really thought there would be a higher body count, which I thought would be way more entertaining. Like, okay, I can get behind this if this is like stupid ass body count, just people dying, and you could like it's a big. You could do like things with like somebody like more like a Stitches style killing, like fill their body with icing until their head explodes, or do something creative or something like that, or kill them with one of those icing bag things or something. There's so many things you could have done. Rolling pins, knives,
Sure.
so many things, and they just dropped the ball on all this.
I was even thinking Gingerdead Man can get scared of a big fat guy coming in eating everything.
Yeah,
you
there you go.
Something like that.
So, but no, he ends up he trash talks with a rat though. He does do that.
Yeah, we missed that.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna kick your ass, rat. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna kick your rat ass. Anyway, but at the same time, it's Gary fucking Busey doing this movie. And like I said, the Buse is loose in this movie. He is loose. So I'm going to say, kind of like with the people with the 5 stars says, I'm going to say see it once just to see it and watch Gary Busey just be Busey. And then you never watch it again.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say so bad it's good for one viewing.
Good for one go.
Good for one viewing.
All
and
right.
then move on.
Yeah.
So there we go. We're split, but that's going to do it. Check us out. Follow us on Facebook. Check out our website, horriblehorrorpodcast.com. We're on Twitter at So Bad It's Scary. You can check us out on Podbean, where you can download and listen to the show at horriblehorror.podbean.com. And you can download us, subscribe to us, and check us out on iTunes. All this is 100% free to you, you lovely, lovely Moongoons. We love you so.
We do it because we love you.
We do. That's going to do it for us. We will be back with our live show in a week. Coming to you live. All right, Moongoons, peace out. We will see you down the road.